They call it fashion, but it's built on blood. Not creativity, not innovation, not empowerment. Just blood, sweat, and silence woven into every thread. Every tag you touch, every discount you brag about, every $2 shirt you toss in your cart. It all comes from somewhere. Somewhere far from the runways. Somewhere darker than influencers will ever show you. Somewhere you'll never see on a brand's website. It comes from the hands of a girl too young to vote, too scared to speak. She doesn't have weekends. She doesn't have a childhood. She has a needle, a quota, and a boss who doesn't care if she bleeds. Every time you buy a $5 shirt, someone else bleeds to make it. Not metaphorically, but through torn fingers, sleepless nights, and the suffocating air of unregulated factories. Behind the dazzling Instagram ads, influencer hauls, and mall displays of Shein, Zara, H&M, Primark, and Boohoo, there's a hidden world most people never see. A world of 14-hour shifts, locked factory doors, and children who trade their childhoods for pennies. These brands don't just sell fashion, they sell an illusion. While billionaire founders sip champagne in penthouses, the workers who make their empires possible often don't even have clean drinking water. We celebrate 70% off sales, but who's really paying the price? Behind the shiny logos lies a global machine, engineered not for style, but for speed, silence, and profit. Clothes made in dim rooms with locked doors. Hours so long, workers collapse at their sewing machines. Pay so low, they can't feed the children they work to support. And it's all legal, or worse, ignored. Amancio Ortega, Erling Persson, Xu Yangtian. Billionaires who turned suffering into style. Their empires are celebrated. Their stories are told like success legends. But who tells the story of the workers crushed beneath those empires? Politicians look the other way. Social media turns it into a trend. And we, the consumers, scroll past it all. We don't just wear these clothes. We wear silence. This isn't just fast fashion. This is modern-day colonization, stitched into a t-shirt priced to move and packaged as affordable. What you're about to witness isn't just a story. It's a system. A system designed to hide its horrors behind beautiful things. Welcome to the dark empire of fast fashion. And once you step inside, you may never look at your clothes the same way again. Fast fashion didn't just change how we dress, it rewrote the rules of the global economy. In the past, clothing followed seasons. Designers had months to create, manufacturers had time to produce, and stores stocked new styles only a few times a year. But then came brands like Zara, H&M, Shein, and they broke the system. Zara pioneered a strategy now infamous, just-in-time production. It meant getting a new design from sketch to store shelves in as little as 2 weeks. H&M followed suit, mass-producing trendy pieces at prices no local tailor could match. And then came Shein, the digital beast. Using algorithms, data scraping, and ruthless outsourcing, Shein began pumping out thousands of new designs every single day, most of them copied from small creators, runway looks, or viral TikToks. These brands promised what consumers wanted most: speed, affordability, style, but no one stopped to ask, how is this even possible? The answer isn't innovation, it's exploitation. To produce at such speeds and such low prices, corners must be cut. Not just in design, but in human rights. Behind every new arrival is a garment worker, racing to hit an impossible quota. Behind every limited time sale is a factory manager cutting costs by cutting wages, skipping breaks, and ignoring safety. Fast fashion isn't just fast, it's engineered to be addictive. With new drops daily, countdown timers, and influencer hype, consumers are conditioned to chase trends they don't need and forget the cost behind them. And while these brands promise affordable luxury, what they really sell is status. They tell you your clothes make you better, more desirable, more respected. They show you models and influencers wearing outfits labeled premium, but they never show you the hands who stitched them. They hide how cheap the labor is and inflate how expensive the perception becomes. In a world obsessed with flex culture, we start buying not to wear, but to prove. We convince ourselves that a name on the tag means something, that it elevates us. Even if we get the same style, same fabric, same comfort for less, we chase the brand because that's what the world respects. So we wait for sales, we buy what we can't afford to feel seen. And we contribute, knowingly or not, to a system built on illusion. The faster fashion moves, the more invisible the labor becomes. What consumers celebrate as affordable luxury is often the product of modern industrial slavery. It's not just fast, it's ruthless. And the price isn't paid at the checkout counter. Beyond the glossy branding, behind the endless racks of cheap clothes, there are factories that resemble prisons more than workplaces. These aren't state-of-the-art production houses. They're often dimly lit rooms, hot, overcrowded, and unsafe. Workers, mostly women and children, sit for 12 to 16 hours a day, often in silence, stitching the same seam over and over until their hands blister and their bodies give out. Many aren't allowed bathroom breaks. Some work 7 days a week with no contracts, no job security, and no health coverage. In some cases, children as young as 10 are found operating machines or cutting fabric. In others, women are forced to meet impossible quotas under threat of losing the little they earn. And for what? A few dollars a day, if that. Entire families live on wages that can't even buy the clothes they produce. And while they labor in silence, the men who own these brands live in unimaginable luxury. Amancio Ortega, founder of Zara, is worth over $121.9 billion, one of the richest men alive. In 2011, Brazilian authorities uncovered that Zara's suppliers had been using workers in slave-like conditions, some earning less than $2 for a 16-hour day. Erling Persson, founder of H&M, turned a family clothing shop into a global fashion empire. In 2013, the deadliest disaster in fashion history occurred when the Rana Plaza factory in Bangladesh collapsed, killing 1,138 workers and injuring thousands more.
There has been another horrific incident at a garment factory in Bangladesh. An 8-story building collapsed today, killing at least 145 people and injuring hundreds of others.
The building was visibly cracked and unsafe, yet workers were forced inside to meet production deadlines for brands like Primark, H&M, and others.
It was pure chaos. A giant plaza with a market and several clothing factories inside. During morning rush hour, it simply collapsed. Officials discovered cracks in the building yesterday, but workers say they had no choice but to go in.
That collapse wasn't a tragedy. It was a consequence of the industry's greed. Su Yankin, the reclusive founder of Shein, became a billionaire by scaling the very system that thrives on human disposability. In 2022 and 2023, Shein faced global outrage after investigations linked its suppliers to forced Uyghur labor in Xinjiang, a region at the center of China's human rights crisis. Shein denied the claims but refused to reveal its full supply chain, citing competitive secrecy. And it's not just a developing world problem. In 2020, an undercover investigation revealed that workers in Leicester, UK, making clothes for the fast fashion giant Boohoo, were paid just £3.50 an hour, far below the legal minimum wage. Crumbling buildings, no contracts, and pandemic violations exposed a brutal truth. Modern slavery exists right next door. Their wealth has come from squeezing every ounce of value from a global supply chain built on cheap, voiceless labor. While they buy yachts, estates, and private islands, the people who sow their profits often don't even have access to clean water or proper shelter. This is not just inequality, it's extraction on an industrial scale. A system where wealth doesn't trickle down, it's pumped upward, from the slums to the penthouses. From the fingers of garment workers, to the portfolios of billionaires. When we think of fashion, we think of beauty, of color, of expression, but what we rarely think about is consequence. Behind every t-shirt you've ever owned lies a trail of destruction you'll never see, but the planet feels it. Chemical waste dumped into rivers that entire towns rely on. Microplastics released from synthetic fabrics, now found in the placenta of unborn children. Entire coastlines in West Africa drowning under clothing waste shipped from Western countries. This isn't just pollution, it's poison, built into the very DNA of fast fashion. The synthetic fabrics used by fast fashion brands, polyester, nylon, acrylic, are made from fossil fuels. Every time they're washed, they release plastic particles into water systems. And those particles don't disappear, they enter our food chain, our air, even our organs. We now live in a world where we are literally wearing and breathing oil. The fashion industry is quietly altering the planet's chemistry, and our own. One of the most disturbing examples of this fallout can be seen in the Atacama Desert of Chile, where over 60,000 tons of discarded fashion waste has been dumped, most of it brand new, never worn. These clothes, shipped from the US and Europe, were either overproduced or unsold. The desert, once pristine, is now home to mountains of rotting garments, most made of synthetic fabrics that will never biodegrade. And when locals burn the waste to create space, the skies fill with toxic smoke, poisoning the very air people breathe. This is what happens when an industry produces more than it can sell and treats the global south as a dumping ground for its guilt. But the industry doesn't stop there. It targets your brain too. With flash sales, algorithmic triggers, and influencer marketing, brands like Shein manipulate our sense of urgency and self-worth. You're not shopping to clothe yourself. You're shopping to fill a void they created. The more trends they create, the more discontent they sell. And the cycle repeats endlessly. Because if the product is addictive and the price is cheap, the consequences become invisible. But they're not. Somewhere, a village is dying of textile poisoning. Somewhere, a child is coughing from dye-polluted air. Somewhere, a landfill is burning clothes you wore once, for a picture. And eventually, the consequences come home. In the climate we can't predict. In the diseases we can't trace. In the damage we can't undo. Fashion was never supposed to cost lives. But fast fashion is costing the future. And the scariest part, we've normalized it. After everything you've seen, it's hard not to ask, so now what? If fast fashion is broken, what's the way forward? The good news, there is an alternative. It doesn't require perfection, just intention. A shift in how we buy, wear, and think about clothes. Buy less, choose better. Fast fashion survives because we treat clothes like tissue paper, cheap, disposable, and forgettable. We buy because it's there, because it's cheap, because everyone else is. And in that moment, we rarely stop to ask, do I even need this? Or is it just filling a space? But the most powerful thing you can do, as a consumer, as a human, is to slow down. Stop chasing variety and start valuing longevity. Instead of 10 impulse buys that fall apart, buy fewer pieces that fit well, feel good, and last. Ask yourself before you buy, will I wear this 30 times? Can I style it with what I already own? Is this timeless, or just another trend trap? You're not depriving yourself, you're taking back control. You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to stop shopping like it's survival. Treat your wardrobe like a reflection of who you are, not what brands want you to be. Because in a world that tells you more is better, choosing less is a quiet revolution. Thrift, swap, and reuse. Some of the boldest, most original fashion today isn't coming from stores. It's coming from those who know how to make old things feel new again. You don't need to buy new to look good. Thrift stores and vintage markets offer unique styles that aren't mass-produced. Online platforms like Depop, ThredUp, and Poshmark make sustainable fashion accessible. Clothing swaps with friends foster community and reduce waste. Upcycling, reworking old garments, lets you wear your creativity, not just your cash. And here's the best part: no new materials, no added pollution, no worker exploitation. What you're doing isn't just shopping, it's disrupting a system. Because the most ethical, most powerful fashion statement you can make is wearing what already exists. Support ethical brands. Not all fashion is harmful. Some brands are rewriting the rules, paying fair wages, using clean materials, and sharing where their products come from. These brands may cost more, but that's because they invest in people, not just profit. Look for meaningful certifications. And workers are paid and treated fairly. Fabrics are truly organic. Businesses legally accountable to people and planet. These clothes last longer. They harm less. They matter more. And every time you support one of them, you're voting with your wallet. You're telling the industry, I care about who made this and how. Redefined value fashion isn't supposed to be about proving something. It's supposed to be about expressing something. You don't need the loudest logo. You don't need the latest drop. You don't need to flex. Real style doesn't come from status. It comes from self-awareness. From choosing what reflects your truth, not your insecurity. Confidence is timeless. Authenticity never fades. And the most powerful statement you can wear is one you don't have to explain. We used to think of fashion as harmless, a form of expression, a way to look good, feel good, belong. But now we know the truth, that behind the shimmer of every sale rack is a factory worker who never saw sunlight, that behind every trend is a landfill, a poisoned river, a grieving mother. That fashion isn't just a personal choice. It's a political act, an environmental act, a human act. If this moves you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Start a conversation. And if you want to see more stories that reveal what others hide, hit subscribe and join us in exposing the truth. Because truth only matters when it spreads.